tears were literally rolling down my cheeks. It was July 1st, 2015. I'd just gotten a text from my colleague. I was on the Metro North train, and we were slowly rolling into Harlem 125th Street Station when I got the news. A stock that we were betting was going to go down was being acquired. It was going to be up 30% that day. It was going to be the worst day of my career managing money. My investors were about to lose millions of dollars. And I personally was going to be losing $600,000 of my own money. I felt I was in pain. I felt like an imposter. And I felt like giving up. Anyone ever feel like giving up at any time in their life? That day, I felt like giving up. And I knew I needed to do something to change this defeatist attitude. I don't know why, but I decided to put on an uplifting song. Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps, you know. Ooh child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh child, things are gonna get brighter. Well, the song did make me ecstatic, but it did stop those tears from rolling down my cheeks. And I put on a good, calm appearance for my colleagues that day. In fact, when I walked into my office on 54th and 6th Avenue, I took my headphones off so my colleagues could hear the song, because they knew how bad that day was going to be. And throughout that day, July 1st, I put out more and more uplifting songs, and I realized that I was creating unconditional happiness in my life. And in the days ahead, the portfolio didn't do much better. We lost more money, and I was still feeling quite bad, but every time I was feeling sad, I decided to take some action. Thinking about some happy habits. What could I do to create some happiness in my life? And I started writing these things down. Spending more time with my daughters, Lauren and Morgan, going for a jog, reading, meditating. So what could you do to create some unconditional happiness in your life? Maybe go for a walk in nature. Maybe write in your gratitude journal, which is rule number 5 in my book, The 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use. Or maybe it's dancing, home alone, naked, or just dancing. I don't judge. So I'm going to challenge you, take out a piece of paper and write down right now some things that will create unconditional happiness in your life. Take a couple of seconds. Think about it. Maybe it's spending more time with family. Maybe it's playing with your dog or cat. What could you do to create unconditional happiness in your life? So here's my punchline. In August and September of 2015, I had my best 2 months managing money relative to the overall stock market index. My fund was up 3%, the market was down 9%. We outperformed by 1,200 basis points, 12%. And I truly believe by creating these happy habits and creating unconditional happiness in my life, that I outperformed. I felt better. I was enjoying my life. In fact, in August of 2015, I took 2 weeks of vacation. The first time I had taken 2 weeks of vacation managing money in my career. 1 week with my daughters and 1 week with friends. And I wasn't staring at the screens. I used to have 5 screens up and staring at the screens all day long and worrying if I could make money that day. I was away from the screens and I was enjoying myself, creating unconditional happiness. Now, I will tell you, you don't have to spend money to create unconditional happiness in your life. Remember the things I just mentioned? How many of them or spending money. Right? Walking in nature, take a walk on the beach, meditating, visualizing, reading. Sure, if you want to do a mani-pedi, get a massage, go for it. Do a splurge. But most of the things you're doing in life to create unconditional happiness actually will not cause you to spend a lot of money. So I truly believe that by raising your vibration and creating joy and happiness in your life, you will be more prosperous. So, as I mentioned, this is rule number 3 in the 9 Money Rules Millionaires Use, my second book from 2019. And I think all of you have a raffle. We're going to raffle off a book. Who's excited? Anybody? 798? Anybody have the first 3 numbers, 798? I think all of you. 7987. 798760.